Hey girl, hey.
Hey!
We're about to really get into it.
We're spilling the real tea in every sense of the word.
And he starts to walk toward us. And I'm like,
Did we see the giblets and the
we
the
saw
sausage?
all the things.
I'm selling this duplex and both front doors are wide open. Potentially someone had pooped in the floor a couple of times.
You missed a very critical step there. ABC, baby. Always be closing.
That was like always be crying situation. This job will test you. Jana's got the tissues out.
Like literally sitting there going, what is wrong with me?
My whole life was falling apart. I was begging for help.
I'll take anybody's call. You need to rant and rave and cry and scream. I'm here for it.
If you're listening to this, I don't know you, but I love you. You are loved. People do care.
Welcome to the Moxie and Jana show.
I mean, we are spilling some real tea up in her, okay?
So we have aptly named our little show, Spilling Real Tea with Jana and Moxie.
Get it? Tune in and listen to us share all our crazy, wildly unbelievable crap that we see, do, and navigate in the insane world of real estate.
And we're talking everything.
Oh, the stories we will share.
Literally everything. Down to the fails only us real estate agents could make.
We got it all, y'all.
Straight out of KC, and we spilling it.
Hey girl, hey.
Hey! Okay, maybe I went too long on that.
Very much so. Psycho.
I'm okay with that.
Holy cow. Well, we have some very weighty topics to discuss today.
No, we don't. We have normal, everyday, average Joe, normal human stuff to talk about.
They are. It's just we're about to actually really get into it.
We're going to really spill the tea. I mean, right? Isn't that?
I know. I love how earlier you said we're not spilling the fake tea.
Right. No, we're spilling the real tea in every sense of the word. So if people don't want to get real today, they better just press stop right now. I would suggest continuing, but it's up to you, boo. You do you, boo.
So I think once we get to that part of our conversation, we will have a lovely warning for our viewers and listeners so that they understand that, it might be triggering for some people.
Absolutely.
And not in a political way.
No, I think that's extraordinarily wise. I hadn't even thought about that, truthfully. That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
So for everybody to know, we will put up a disclaimer.
Yes.
Or
yes, we will.
Say it. Or I don't know. Jana will take care of it. That's what she's for. She's good at stuff like that. I'm like, I'm over here like,
Jana will take care of the disclaimers.
She's good at stuff like that. I'm just stupid.
Me.
No, I'm not stupid. I'm pretty.
What is happening? Moxie.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Oh my God.
Ask somebody that knows. I'm not an adult.
Or cares.
I don't know what to tell you.
Just kidding.
Yeah. True story.
Let's dig in though. So you had shared with me a kind of a funny story about a time when you went to show a home and found someone sleeping. And I think you should 100% share it because it's fucking hilarious. Please.
Okay.
Endow us with your knowledge and your funniness. Yes. Clear your throat. Let me clear my throat. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. So here's the thing. I am willing to show homes in the urban core where there's a potential that some agents are maybe not okay with it. I am. I always have been. But sometimes it leads to very interesting situations. Just occasionally.
Well, let's just say that some of the coolest houses are in the urban core.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a kill room in all of them. All of them have a kill room.
We refer to those as murder basements. We do not call them kill rooms.
Yes. I call them kill rooms. Where's the kill room? I love it. Yes, I love it. Okay, so I was showing a house to an investor, and usually they're out-of-state investors typically. So usually it's just me walking through the property. And this particular day, the tenant was home. No big deal. Hey, can I show your house like I have scheduled? Yeah, come on in. Talk to him for just a second. Everybody's fine with it. I'm looking around and I go in the big bedroom. I don't know which bedroom it really was, but it was one of the front big bedrooms. And I go in there and I hear this just weird noise. And then I see on the bed what appears to be A beached whale. I don't know. It was a human, but they were so large in the midsection. They were so large in the midsection that on the bed, it was like legs, stomach, head. So it kind of looked like a beach whale. And they were out to the world. They had no idea I was in there, snoring away, sweating profusely, smelled like potentially drugs. It kind of startled me, truthfully, because
You might have thought they were dead.
If she hadn't been snoring like crazy, I would have definitely assumed that they were not with us any longer. It was weird. And then I just shut the door. I looked around, I shut the door, and I just was like, there's someone asleep back there. I said something to the people, not to her, obviously, but I was like, there's somebody asleep back there. They're like, oh, yeah, we know. Oh, thanks for the heads up, jerks. Have you ever walked in? Like, I knock before I go in any house. I don't care what it is. Heck, I was showing a condo on Sunday, and we had an extra 25 minutes to be there according to like our schedule of putting in the request. I knock on the door. The stinking owner answers. She's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, the internet says that I have another 25 minutes to be here. And this was a condo in downtown. So it happens all the time. I knock on every door.
Oh, yeah. No, you always knock. And I think the only time I've run into, well, there's been a couple times, but I've been held hostage by a cat before.
Oh, fun.
Ultra terrifying.
Yeah, I bet so. I got to implore the Olathe Police Department 2 days ago. 3 days ago? 3 days ago. Yeah.
I think we need to hear that story.
So I've never heard a cop say, is anybody in the house? It's the police department. So many times in my life. I almost wanted to record it just so that I could have proof of it. I'm selling this duplex and I go up and both front doors are wide open and it's vacant. And one of them had like potentially someone had like pooped in the floor a couple of times and maybe they were living there. I don't know, but they were squatters. And so I knew I wasn't going into that place by myself. Okay, Pumpkin, there is no way I'm going into that place by myself. So I called the Olathe Police Department. I'm like, hey, I'm going to look at this house and I want to make sure I don't die. So they showed up and he cleared the whole thing from top to bottom. It was 4 floors and 2 bedrooms and just cleared both sides. And all you hear is, police department, open up. Just walks around everything. Yeah, well, it was already open, but he had to knock. And then he just announced himself the whole time. And then when he left, he was like, yeah, these are some pretty bad units. I was like, yeah, they're really rough. I just didn't want to die today. He's like, no, you did the right thing. I was like, awesome. Thank you, sir.
Hold on. Yeah. You missed a very critical step there. You didn't ask him if he wanted to buy an investment property. These are your listings, right?
I did. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
ABC, baby. ABC.
No.
Always be closing.
No. That was like a always be crying situation. I didn't want to be crying in my shoes. No way. Yeah, it was interesting.
Where do you come up with this shit?
I don't know. That just popped into my brain. I don't know.
I love it.
I don't know. So what about you? Have you ever like walked in on someone sleeping?
Not someone sleeping. I have walked in when someone was getting out of a shower.
Oh no. That's awkward.
So awkward.
Was there a towel involved?
Eventually.
Eventually. Holy moly. Yeah. That's crazy. Did we see the giblets and the
We
the
saw
sausage?
all the things.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. Did they almost like think about shooting you in the process?
No. It was very startling for both of us, actually. They weren't expecting to see a human being in their house that they probably, and I certainly wasn't expecting to see, the pork and beans.
Everything. Right.
Was not expecting that. No.
Wow.
So we walk in, we're walking by the bathroom and I hear, like when we walk in, I can hear some water's running, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, well maybe it's just the washing machine, the dishwasher. It happens a lot. People like throw everything in their dishwasher really quick before they leave the house and then they turn on.
Yeah.
So I thought it was something like that. And I literally have a husband and wife and their like 4-year-old daughter with us.
Oh no.
That was super fun. So we're walking through the living room, go into the kitchen, go down the hall, pass by the bathroom. The door's closed. It feels warm, heat is coming out of there. Tried to think nothing of it. And I was like, okay, we're just going to move on. Walk into the master bedroom, turn around, come out. And the door opens to the bathroom and he starts to walk toward us. Starts to walk toward us, toward the bedroom. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I like turn around and I was like, guys, go back that way. And she's
Oh,
like, oh,
no.
the wife was like, wow, okay.
Wow. Did they buy the house?
They did.
No. Wow.
$10,000 under list price for the trauma.
Was it really?
Yeah, that wasn't why,
wow.
but that's what I chalked it up to.
Oh
And
my
the sheer
gosh,
level
that's
of
crazy.
embarrassment, the seller was like, sure, I'll take your offer. Let's
Yeah.
move on.
Wow. That is crazy. So, do you know what can happen when you walk into somebody's house that's not wearing clothes or asleep on a bed? You know what can happen?
What can happen?
It can make you question everything.
Your life choices. Your life choices.
How did my life lead up to a beached whale smelling like drugs in a home that the buyer did not want to buy it? How is this where my life is? So it really can. It really can. This job will test you, Jana. You know
Oh,
this.
God. I do.
You've been tested.
Many times. Many times.
Do you know what I've done a couple of times?
I mean, I can think of a few things, but I feel like I might not hit the nail on the head. So
I have quit real estate a couple of times.
yeah.
Like, I don't mean like I'm finding another job, quit real estate, but I mean like I'm not answering anybody's dang phone calls tonight. I quit. I'm not a real estate agent after 5:00 today, and I will start again tomorrow morning at 9. But y'all are going to leave me the heck alone until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, pumpkin? I have legitimately, there has been a time where our lender that I work with specifically, and I know you do too, but
I was just going to say, let's just say her name. Can we just say her name?
Okay,
Molly Dean.
Molly Dean, Flat Branch. So
is our primary lender. We love her to pieces. Yeah. So there it is. All right. There's your shameless plug, Molly. Don't say we don't love you.
It's not even, right. Don't say we never promoted you. But here's the difference though. It's not even just that she's my primary lender or your primary lender. She's my friend. She has walked through the fire with me personally and in business for me and for my clients. So it's not like I'm just out here saying, oh, this lender's great, this lender's great, this lender's great, just because we're on a business level. We are on such a personal level with each other that it's unbelievable. I have a better business relationship, personal relationship with her than I would say almost any person in my life. She is my soundboard in all things. And when you can mix the business with the personal and still be able to joke about how the business has been tough, but we're also going to cry about the personal, to me, there's nothing better. So that's not only are we shameless plugging her, but we're also friends, right? So that's completely the different story with her.
Yeah. And I would say to add to that I have never met someone who is so strategic and who knows their shit inside and out to the point where they can come up with some pretty creative solutions. And she just doesn't give up. That's the other thing that I love about her.
She cares.
Doesn't give up.
She cares so stinking much. It is unbelievable. How much she cares blows me away.
And the interesting thing to me is now I've had agents before and I've had clients before who have been like, her bedside manner. She can be a little straightforward and direct. Yeah. Like, I don't know, both of us. So that's probably why we work so well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the funny thing is I tell them, I'm like, okay, you have to understand that there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving pieces. Sometimes she's got to run that DU, that desktop underwriter, like 7,000 times, playing with the things to make it work and build a strategy for you. So I understand that you didn't get a call back right away, but trust me, you will get one tomorrow and all of your problems will disappear. So just chill.
No,
chill.
I literally had to tell a client, suck it up, buttercup, do what she says. And you know what happened? We
did
got
what he
him
says
closed.
And they got the house.
He did. And I told him, I said, you're going to get in a fight with her. You're probably going to get in a fight with me. You're not going to like either of us at some point in the next 2 weeks. I promise. But if you do what we ask and you do everything that you're told, you will buy a home. We were sitting at the closing table and he's like, Moxie, you told me I was going to be mad at y'all. You said I was going to fight with you. You weren't kidding. I fought with both of you. And I was like, yet here we are, buddy.
Yep.
So it's worth it. But no, it's worth it. But we talk about her because there has been times, oh, girl, I have literally called her and I'm like, this is not a real estate agent today. And she just starts laughing on the other end. And I'm like, I'm not kidding. I've quit real estate. I will rehire myself tomorrow. And I will never forget the first time I told her that. I think she actually thought I was serious, that I was truthfully
She's
quitting real estate. Yeah.
So she's trying to be super supportive while also like, holy fuck, what's happening?
Yes. So she like, you could feel like this immense pause on her side of things of like, oh my gosh, is she really quitting? And then I said, don't worry, I'll rehire myself. I think it was like a Saturday or something. And it had just been a very hard week for her and I. And I was like, don't worry, Monday I'll rehire myself. And she's told me since then, she's like, I've quit real estate because of that. The same thing. I have had to, because Jana, we're 24/7. I got a call this morning at 6:24 and I did not answer. However, I texted back, and by 7:00, we had a showing scheduled for tomorrow night. But like, that's our lives. I'm sitting in bed waiting for the 5 a.m. club call to come on, which by the way, here is 7 a.m. And
which is amazing.
I get this call. Yeah. Oh yeah. Those are
my
so
ass
cool.
is not getting up at 5 a.m. I'm
no,
not doing it.
But I love that Sharon does. We appreciate it.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. So anyways, have you ever wanted to quit real estate?
So I joke around about this a lot, actually, because I'm like, you can go in one day, you can go from the highest of highs. I am on top of the world. No one can fuck with me. I've got all the things. I'm doing all the right things and saying all the right things. And people are answering their phone and they're writing contracts and it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
To, I literally could jump off the bridge right now. And I say that jokingly, but also seriously, because those things add up, right? Over time.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And you've got to decompress. You've just got to. So yes, many times.
Yeah.
Every day. I feel like every day, every time I step out into my workshop.
Yeah. I mean, I got a massage this morning. That was my way of decompressing today. I think that when people hear that I get a massage once a month, they're like, oh my God, I'm like, oh, I'm what? I'm taking care of myself, because I'm sorry, who else is out here taking care of me? No, exactly. That's what everybody thinks. Like you're some sort of snob. Girl, I'm not. I carry my tension in my back. And when my back hurts, I'm grouchy. I mean, Oscar the Grouch ain't got shit on me. True story. So I have to get massages, and my clients should actually thank me for it and send me gift cards, but that's okay that they don't.
Massage Envy is not expensive. I don't know where you go.
Okay, no, that's
perfect.
where I go.
$75, like, make your agent's day.
Exactly. What she said, Christmas is coming up.
Christmas is coming.
I get so much slack from people for going to Massage Envy, but I came across this chick randomly. I needed a massage ASAP, and she just happened to have an hour slot open. I came across her randomly. Her name is Jade in Lee Summit. That girl deserves an Oscar for her performance. I mean, it is the best massage I've ever had in my entire existence. She's phenomenal. She was rubbing on things today in my butt that made me want to talk to Jesus, because
there are so many inappropriate things I want to say.
Say it. Self-care is very important. For you, your self-care is your workshop, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's where you decompress. You do weird stuff out there with sanders and stuff. I don't really know.
I build things.
Yeah. Okay. Things. What do you build?
Well, right now I'm in the process of building a wall-mounted record player holder, a mid-century modern wall-mounted record player for my son's records and his record player.
Oh, wow.
It's cool. Awesome. I'm very proud of myself, actually. It doesn't look like shit.
I feel like we need to plug a picture of it right now onto this so that we can see it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I think that needs to happen.
I made Christmas trees. I've made live epoxy resin charcuterie boards and serving trays for my clients for closing gifts.
Wow. I make cookies, so you're way cooler than me.
I mean, you got to go with what works. You get massages and bake cookies. I throw hammers and build shit.
Hey, I love it. I also make salsa and pickles. So, I mean, we both have our own little thing. It's very chaotic to do in the summer, but I have some homemade salsa.
I'm going to put this out there for you, Moxie. My favorite foods are Mexican foods. Favorite. I love salsa, guacamole. Oh, give it to me, baby. But I will also tell you that I am a big fucking baby and I can't eat anything spicy.
Oh, well, then you would like our
So-
medium. Then you would like our medium. It's not super hot at all. You would not like our hot, hot. We have a
Probably
hot,
not.
a medium, and a hot, 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 hot.
I'm a big
It's
baby.
hot, hot. It's good. Everybody seems to like it though.
Whenever we go eat Indian food, you know, and they always ask, you know, your spice level, I'm like, pretend that I am American and I've never eaten anything spicy.
Not even
I'm a
table
big
pepper.
baby.
Wow.
I do put quite a bit of pepper on my food, but I'm like, just pretend that, you know, I'm one of those people. And then my husband's like, I will take it hot, hot. And they look at him and they're like hot, hot or hot, hot, like hot, hot, hot. And he's like, whatever that means to you, trust me, I can handle it. And I'm like,
wow.
Okay.
I wouldn't have pegged him as that.
Oh my God, he eats so much. Okay. Have you ever used Sticker Mule before? Have you ever ordered stickers, enamel pens, anything, t-shirts, anything like that from Sticker Mule? Okay. This is a shameless plug for Sticker Mule then, because they're extraordinarily cheap, great quality. I get all of our keychains through Sticker Mule. But they have what they call horsey sauce. It's not horseradish sauce like Arby's, but they have their own hot sauce. And if you spend, I think it's like $75 or something, I can't remember what it was. I think it's $75. They send you a bottle of very spicy horsey sauce. So usually about once a quarter, I get the request for some more keychains so that we can get some more horsey sauce. So
nice.
But yes, to get back to your previous conversation there, yes, I want to quit real estate a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot.
Okay, I think it's disclaimer time.
All right. So just a heads up for anybody listening, we are going to talk about some very, very, very strong mental health situations that involve thoughts of suicide. And so if that is triggering for you in any way, we would recommend that you stop listening now and we will catch you on the next one. So with that.
Okay. So thank you, Jana, because sometimes we just got to get real in life. And it depends on your jobs. It depends on your level of capacity. Jana's got the tissues out. I don't have them. But I wanted to do this. Thank you, Jana. You're so sweet.
Welcome.
Look at her defense mechanisms are showing right now, Jana. Just so you know, there's therapy for that.
It's a trauma. You know, that's my favorite response. I fucking hate it when people say that. It's a trauma.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but I mean, traumas are real. Like, traumas are real. I'm working on a lot of childhood traumas right now, okay? And I don't mean like my mom beat me and put me in a corner with no clothes on. I mean like Sally pushed me down on the playground. Like simple traumas can really manifest throughout your adulthood if you don't take care of them. So with that, before you start to take care of traumas, me personally, I have struggled in years past with suicidal thoughts. So it got really bad after my first divorce where it was wintertime. I already have a hard time with seasonal depression and I had a handgun. And I remember calling my brother and saying, I need you to take this handgun from me for the rest of the winter because I'm legitimately planning and thinking, what would it take to die? It would be so much easier if I just wasn't here. And like, those are scary, intense thoughts, right? So, we're talking 2000 and I don't know, 13, maybe 14. Okay. So 9 or 10 years ago. So I gave my gun to my brother for about 3 years in a row and things started getting a lot better. And in the last 5 years, I have gone through some very hard things. My husband and I's anniversary is November 17th. So we celebrated our 5th anniversary. And shortly after we got married, we had a stillborn within like 4 months of being married. And with that comes some real stuff. Okay. Well, this year, it all came kind of crashing down on me. And I remember sitting on my couch and I legitimately thought to myself, I wonder what the end of my gun tastes like. And that thought, it shook me to the core because the last time I thought about my handgun in a sad scenario, I was thinking about how I could end my own life. And now I'm sitting here thinking I'm okay 10 years later after the first thoughts of it, sitting here legitimately wondering, what does the end of my handgun taste like? I don't want to say those are not normal thoughts because I don't want to make anybody feel as if it's not okay that they're having those thoughts, but those are not okay thoughts for me. And I just wanted to be able to talk about the fact that suicide is real, for one. It's crazy how many pastors or, funeral directors say, the families always say, we never saw it coming. We never knew this person was this bad off. And with having a difficult job like you and I have, we carry a lot of burdens for other people. We carry a lot of their emotions. We carry a lot of their personal stuff. Like, we carry a lot for these people, and we have to put that somewhere. So I just wanted to talk about this, and I'd love to hear your story, but I want to tell you why I wanted to talk about this. We are coming out of a pandemic that left a lot of people alone. And I've been hearing a lot recently that within the next 10 years, that aloneness is going to start manifesting itself in some different ways that maybe we're not used to. And the first one could very well be potentially a spike in suicide, which I think there was a significantly higher rate of suicide last year than people were expecting. So I just wanted people to know, like, first off, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You are not alone. If you're thinking about this, you are not alone. There are people here. I don't really know how to help, but I'll listen because I get it. But I just wanted people to know, like, even me, I look so put together. I look like I got it all. And at the end of the day, I'm just a human like the rest of them. Yeah. I know I'm very outgoing. I'm very boisterous. I'm very, out there, but I struggle with depression, immensely struggle with it. And I struggle with thoughts of suicide. So I just wanted to be able to tell people, like, you're not alone.
Yeah. No, I totally hear you. And when we talked about having this conversation, I admittedly was very uncomfortable because I've not told anyone. Well, let me back up. My husband knows now, but last year, like this time last year, I legitimately was making plans. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
Yeah. And
wow.
God damn it.
You're okay.
Here we go.
You're okay. You're okay, though.
I'm like, Moxie, when we talk about this, I'm going to need tissues.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I made that comment in our last episode. My husband makes this statement about how, I'm always so positive. Well, I try. I mean, I do. But,
yeah,
there are times when that just doesn't really work. Like covering it up and pretending like it doesn't exist doesn't fucking work. So yeah, I mean, mine was very much related to the unexpected death of my mom in 2019, which left me with the sole responsibility of taking care of my very handicapped brother. And then he died. Yeah. And that was hard.
Yeah, I know. I know how much you miss him. It's hard. It's hard when these life situations come at you and they hit you like a sack of bricks and you're going along and everything's fine and you think it's good, and then they happen and you have to figure out a way to deal with it in a healthy way. And if you don't, it can lead you down a path that you just never thought you would walk down ever.
Yeah. And I mean, following on that, my brokerage was not doing so hot. We had a lot of expenses and wasn't seeing a lot of production from, anyone really. And it all just started to collapse in on itself. At that point in time, I had never in my life felt like that. Like when I was 28, there was a point in time in my life where my thyroid was jacked up. My hormones were all jacked up. I had PCOS. I had all these things, right, that really kind of screw with your hormones and they really kind of mess with your head. And I distinctly remember sitting there with my primary care doctor. And I was like, so here's the deal. I want to divorce my husband and run away from my kids and go to another country. And I have never felt like this before. And I don't want those things. I know I don't want those things. Yeah. But I am like resisting that fight or flight urge. And so I've been medicated for 15 years. You know what I mean? So like I take Wellbutrin. I'm on the highest dose you can take. So last year when this all came around for me, I had never felt like that before. I've heard it. And the creepy thing about it was you see it when it's happening. You hear yourself in your head, like talking to yourself, like, what is wrong with you? Why do you feel like this? Why are you acting this way? What the fuck?
It's so confusing.
And like literally sitting there going, what is wrong with me? I know maybe hormones. I know that, I've gone through a lot in my life. I've been a domestic violence survivor. I was a teen mom. Like I've got cancer. I went through a whole thing with cancer. It was very terrible. It still is. And my business is falling apart is what tips it over.
And I'm very sorry that you went through all that, Jana. Like I hear you, and it's horrible. My heart goes out to you for all of that. And it should go out to everybody that's experienced anything related to this. But the part that was kind of the hardest for me when I was going through it was the confusion. I was so confused. Why do I feel like this? Why am I thinking about the end of my gun? Why can't I be nice? Why can't I get off the couch? It was so confusing. And one of the things that I've learned this year and doing a lot of self, inner work, whatever you want to call it, healing traumas. I don't care if it's cliche. It is what it is. What I've learned in that is I don't do well in confusion. And I think that's potentially what also makes me be such a good real estate agent, because I like to clarify things. There's a lot of clarity. Now, I may not be the best with the paperwork side of clarification, but I like to clarify, okay, can we ask more questions in this? When I was in that state of confusion, my whole life was falling apart. I mean, I pushed away all my friends. Same as you, my business was falling apart. My personal relationship with my husband was falling apart. I didn't want anything to do with my family. It was really not okay. And my two best friends, once I finally told them like kind of some stuff that was going on, they both said, I knew that's why you weren't talking to me. And they had tried to reach out. So it's not like they were just ignoring me. So, it's interesting that if I had reached out sooner and gotten help sooner, maybe it wouldn't have gotten to that point. But I also guess I needed to get to that point before I really realized the help that I needed. Yeah. So I was very lucky in getting help very quickly with an online resource that was a godsend, in my opinion, because I went to a mental hospital, or whatever they call it, out in Olathe, and they wanted to keep me for 10 days. But it just felt very salesy, almost like, oh, you're okay. Oh, wait, no, you're not. Oh, wait, yeah, you are. And no, you don't get to see a psychiatrist unless you join our program.
You're like, I'm literally thinking about what the end of my gun tastes like, and you're trying to decide whether I'm bad enough to be here.
Yeah. And then they wanted to charge me an exorbitant amount of money. And I was like, this is your only option? I can't just go see a psychiatrist right now. Hell, I'll wait for 6 hours for one to come available. I was begging for help. I was so disappointed in that process. And then within a day, I was on the online source. It's called Brightside. It's kind of like Better Health, but it's brighter side, sorry. And got on medication. I've reduced my medicine immensely. They want me on like 25 milligrams twice a day of this certain medication, and I'm on 5 once a day. And it's phenomenal. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do know that it's potentially a Band-Aid for a deeper issue that I need to continue to work through. But it's because I was able to taper it down as much as I was able to. I know we're on a random soapbox today with this, but I just felt, since when this podcast is going to go out, it's a time of year where people can easily feel alone, and they can easily feel like no one loves them. And I don't know you, but I love you. Okay. Not you, Jana. I do know you. I do love you. But if you're listening to this and you're struggling with suicidal thoughts, I just need you to know you are loved. People do care. So if you're listening to this and that's even like across your mind, you want to talk to anybody, you want to get help, I'm more than happy to chat. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a dum-dum who went through it too. But reach out and get help. Don't be afraid to get help. But I know this is a little more heavy than our normal stuff.
No, but I do think it's interesting though, because I think the tendency for most folks is, I got this, I can figure it out. I just need to eat better, work out more,
go outside,
like read more. I need more sunlight. I need more vitamin D, blah, blah, blah. Right. And for a lot of people, while those things can help you work through the challenges and like right yourself on a daily basis, talking to a professional, seeking medication, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing it says about you. It's simply what your body needs in order to be a functioning, productive human being. And I'm in the same boat with you, Moxie. If someone, no judgment, the judgment-free zone, we've both been there before.
Yeah.
and we're in different phases of, recovery, so to speak, but I'll take anybody's call. If
Yeah.
you need just to rant and rave and cry and scream, I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Long as you don't mind
and
if I do the same thing.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I saw this the other day, and I don't know if it's a hashtag or if it's a movement or I don't know what it is, but it said Gen Z to be suicide free. And I just thought, like, wow, if we really put our heads around that and really started making this a conversation that wasn't taboo, then that could potentially be an option to figure out a way to make this whole generation of kids not be suicidal. So I don't know. I hope so. I hope it'll work.
Well, and I know and I forget how old you are. I'm 44. So I was
30.
born
I'm
in the
38.
Okay. So I was born in the late 70s. And, when I was growing up, we started out with the younger, the older folks, which, there was no cell phones. Everything was a tape voicemail. We still regularly played 8-track recordings,
Yeah.
back in the day. But I think about this a lot, actually, because, I have 4 kids in ranges of age between 28 and 16. And they're growing up in a very distinctly different time than what way we grew up. For better or for worse, I definitely think some things are better. The access to information, the capability to just learn anything from the internet. You know what I mean? Like, you want to learn how to do polka dancing, like, it's there. Someone will teach you. You know what I mean? Like, just crazy stuff. We never had that. Like, if you wanted to learn anything, you would open up the Encyclopedia Britannica. Like, that's what. And there was no one showing you how to do shit. Yeah, just information. But I think about it a lot now because, as my kids have gone through high school, which has always been rough, middle school, always rough for everyone, so much of their life is in the public that they have, at least my experience has been, they have a very distinct difference between what they show to the public and what they really think, who they really are, whatever. They're very focused on this outward persona, right? And it seems weird to us a little bit because we're like, why are they posting literally everything that they do every day? Then you get to my younger one who's barely on social media at all. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting, but I say all of that because there's so much more bullying, online bullying, cyberbullying. There's so much more crap people can dig up on you, find out about you, and then share with the world. And you're just, a passenger in the vehicle. And it can feel very lonely and it can feel you don't have any control over where this is going. Right. And I know for a lot of folks who are experiencing thoughts of suicide, that's a really big trigger. You feel like you have zero control in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think generationally speaking, there's a distinct difference between how kids are growing up today and like how I grew up. And I know that plays a really big role in how we talk about these feelings, how long it takes us to get help, because I still I'm not talking to a counselor. I'm not, but that's because I don't have medical insurance. That's all.
I get it. I'm paying for mine out of pocket, so I totally get it.
It's not that I don't want to, but I need to sell about, 2 houses a month in order to pay for it. So there you go. Right. So I do think that there's a big difference between the ages and how people deal with things and what they feel comfortable sharing and what they don't. And I think it's just really important that when someone does come to you and you can see there's something on the precipice, just ask the question, how are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Absolutely.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And then be prepared.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did we go deep enough? Are we depted? We've depted
I feel
it?
like I shared a lot, Moxie, and more than I thought I would.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we talked about this because who knows, we may help one person. If that's the case, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
So
what are you doing for the holidays?
We're going to spend Christmas here. That's our holiday plan. Then some friends are coming from Ohio for the New Year's Eve game.
Very cool.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't know what we're going to do for Christmas. It depends if all of these transactions close that I have set up for December. If they do, we might go to Idaho. Well, no, she doesn't live in Idaho anymore. She just moved. We helped her move. Rock Springs. So we might go to Rock Springs for Christmas. We'll see.
Cool. Sorry to make you cry or sorry to help you cry. I don't really know. but
I don't know either. We'll see how it goes.
all right. We'll see.
There we go.
Later. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
We know you're probably potty watching or avoiding doing something domestic today, and we're glad you found us instead.
If you've got a crazy real estate story to share,
Burning questions you want the real tea spilt on,
or maybe you want to sponsor our little production, we want to hear from you. Shoot us an email so that we can collaborate. And until next time, guys,
we'll be a hot mess, and you keep doing you, boo-boo.
Make it a great day.